Hey everybody, Eric Counts here, founder of DisCo. I have with me Mr. Corey Bolton, the legend.
Hey everybody, how's it going?
Uh, I want to say before we even get started, I want to give a big thanks to Corey. He has really stepped up in a time of need for DisCo. When I release this thing, I'll just tell you, I was expecting a few people to jump on board with me. And DisCo currently has over 100 users.
Yeah,
and
growing fast.
it's growing very, very fast. And I got a little over my head on requests for help and for getting people set up and all of that. And Corey, man, he has jumped in and did a phenomenal job with helping us take care of that. So first of all, before we even get started, my thanks.
Hey man, I've enjoyed every bit of it. I've enjoyed every minute of getting to know everybody. I look forward to getting to know hundreds more, and I look forward to helping you guys in DisCo.
So one of the things that we noticed was an issue with DisCo, and I want to preface also something that we do here that other places might not necessarily do is we notice, we talk about the shortcomings, we talk about the bad with the good. We're not going to sit and say that everything's perfect. So one of the things that we want to do today is talk about what has been perceived as an issue that I kind of hope to swing around so that you guys see how phenomenal it actually makes the system, and that is the difficulty that people are having setting up DisCo. What happens is DisCo isn't a turnkey. It's not an out-of-the-box, do it our way or bust system. It allows you to build your business your way.
And at times it seems complicated to you, but that just gives you unlimited flexibility with how you set up your business and how you run your business.
It really does. So, we've had things like, Eric, I tried to enter a client, but there are no client statuses. Well, the reason is because you haven't built your client statuses yet. You haven't told your system what you want to call your client statuses. You haven't told your system what you want to call your lead statuses, so on and so forth. Now, one of the things that we've done is created a sample admin. And now you guys aren't going to see this button because that's only on my screen, but I'm able to, inside of here, open this up, and as an example, I click System. Now inside, I have created data like client statuses, lead statuses, partner statuses, so on and so forth. Guys, I'm not telling you that your client statuses should be default client status 1, default client status 2. I'm showing you that they're easy to change. If I come over here to item dropdowns, now I will tell you, I recommend using this stuff. The item dropdowns for sure. Account types. Guys, we used the account types from the bureau codes. So every account type is there. All of them. There they are. Utility company, business credit card, auto lease, rental agreement, VA loan, FHA loan, credit card, timeshare loan. They're all there.
And why would you not use it? I mean, it's just a big time saver to get you on track as fast as we possibly can.
Absolutely. So account types. How about account responsibility? Guys, these are the ECOA codes that are directly from the bureau. It's either an individual account, a joint account, primary borrower, co-borrower, authorized user, shared account, terminated, unknown, or deceased. So that's literally all the options. Account status, too new to rate, current account, paid or paying as agreed. Guys, again, these are the options that the bureau allows, so therefore every status is already there. Collection status is paid, unpaid, making payments, included in BK, wage earner plan, in-debt settlement, unknown, or disputed. Again, all the collection statuses are there. Public record types, there. Public record statuses, filed, satisfied, dismissed, discharged, released. They're there. So what you can do is use this sample admin.
Yeah. And guys, don't get overwhelmed by this. Your admin is the core of the system. So if you go to your admin and you go to your system, think of that as set up and forget mentality. You get this set up, you spend a little time, it's going to take you a little bit, but once you get this set up, you'll be able to use DisCo in an automated fashion from there on out. You click clients, all the statuses will be there. You go to item list, all your instructions, all that stuff will be there. So think of this as, okay, look, this is the bare bones of the system. I set this up, and then I'm good to go from here on out. And a lot of you are overwhelming yourselves looking at all these screens when you really don't need to. It's just the core of the system. Get that set up, and you're good to go.
Right. So, people say, Eric, it looks like a lot of work. I got to come up with contact statuses and sources and all of those things. Yeah, you have to do that, but you have to do it once.
Right.
You do that one time. You spend a weekend or even a week. The first time that I got Infusionsoft, Corey, I'll tell you, I spent literally over a month setting that thing up.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was a beast to set up.
But how much time did it save you once you did?
It literally cut our work times in half.
Yeah.
Once we had it set up, it cut our work times in half. And guys, those of you who are familiar with Infusionsoft could probably see that it inspired a lot of DisCo. Like, some of the things that we used inside Infusionsoft, we have, mirrored, not exactly the same by any means, but, mirrored the idea of how that works inside of DisCo so that you can use the same types of features and the same types of functions that Infusionsoft has without the significant cost that comes along with it. So if I go, as an example, I'm going to go to reporting sources. Well, guys, I've already put in the top 11 reporting sources out there. So I'm going to view all. ScoreSense, Privacy Guard, Equifax.com, Credit Check Total, Credit.com, Credit Sesame, Experian, Credit Karma. I hate it, but it's there. TransUnion.com, True Credit, right? All of these are already here. Now, not only are they all there, let me show you a little bit about what we include. There is the reporting source name, the login URL, the score model that they use, and then a breakdown of that. This educational score is provided to consumers through partnerships with other companies that provide credit monitoring services to consumers. In addition, lenders often use the Credit Expert products to help identify ways clients' credit scores can be improved. The score ranges from 330 to 830. Higher scores represent a greater likelihood that you'll pay back your debt, so you're viewed as a lower risk. Guys, this is an additional thing that we're giving you on each of these models. So if I come down here to Credit Karma, this trans risk is provided through partnerships. It ranges from 300 to 850. So it's a different model. You come down here to TransUnion. This was 501 to 990. There's these different models out there, and when you see how the models work and the way that the scores range, you can present that information to your customers. And in fact, this can be included right in their audit. So if you put in a new client and you put that their credit or that their source is ScoreSense, well, every time that you create an audit, you can tell your client, hey, here's the score, here's the range, here's where you could log in at, and here's the description of that score model. So it's really, really handy in how you do that. Now, one of the things that we've done that's a huge bonus for you guys is created this sample admin section to where we filled out a lot of the data, and all you have to do is use it. So you would go into your admin, and then at the very bottom, you'll see a button that says Load Sample Data. Now, you'll notice I've got a couple of buttons here. I have Super Admin and Sample Admin. You guys ignore those. That's not on your system. It's not on your screen. Don't worry about it. Just ignore it. You're going to have Admin. And then at the very bottom of your admin, it says Load Sample Data. When you click that, it's going to say, what do you want to load from the sample data? Do you want to load the audit? You want to load the system? You want to load the portal, the affiliate program, billing setup, campaign? What do you want to load as far as sample data? Now, I'll tell you guys, so far, the audit review and system has the most data in it. Now, we're going to be filling out all of this data for you. We're going to create you guys a sample affiliate program. We're going to create you guys a sample billing setup with a pay-per-delete, with a monthly model, and then a kind of a little hybrid model. One thing that we had originally thought about doing that we're actually not going to be doing is building out a sample campaign. And the reason is because every single one of you guys' business is different. So instead of building out a sample campaign, we're going to do a lot of campaign trainings. And once we get everybody kind of understanding how that campaign works, we'll start holding some webinars to help you guys walk through building out a really good campaign. I'm not going to probably be building out sample campaigns for everybody. It just doesn't really make any sense.
Yeah, so guys, I get a lot of questions constantly on Facebook and emails. I'm new, brand new to the business, brand new to the industry. Where do I get started? And this is where I recommend you get started. As soon as you log in, go to admin, load the sample data, and Eric's going to show you some of the ways that you can load it.
Yeah, as an example, we're going to load that system data. So I click System. Then it's going to ask me, okay, what do you want to load? Do you want to load the contact statuses? Do you want to load the instructions? Do you want to load account types? Do you want to load account responsibility? What do you want to load? And you can say, all right, I want to load contact statuses. Now, when you do that, you have two options, overwrite or add. Overwriting changes everything that you already have. So let's say that you have 3 statuses that you've created, and they are, status 1, status 2, and status 3. Well, let's say inside the sample data, we've created status A, status B, and status C. If you click overwrite, then your status 1, 2, and 3 will be deleted and you will only have A, B, and C. If you click add, the statuses that you've created, 1, 2, and 3, will stay and you'll also have A, B, and C. So you'll now have 6 statuses. One thing that I don't recommend adding to is account types, guys. Account types, account responsibility, account status, collection status, public record type, public record status, and report sources. I assure you guys, we put in the work. It's there. So I would recommend overwrite, 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 and overwrite, right? On the agreement, I recommend add. We're not putting in a sample agreement. I know a lot of you guys have asked about that. We're going to talk about some things that need to be included in your agreement on some webinars, but I do worry on the liability side of providing sample agreements. Because we're not an attorney, we want your agreement to be fully compliant in your state and whatever state you're doing business in. So we're not going to be providing a sample agreement. And then instructions, I would click add. We're going to talk a little bit really quick on the instructions as well. And then you just click load data. That's it. And all you've loaded is the system data. Now if you want to load the audit and review, well, do you want to load the audit text, the audit tree, the conclusion, or the review text? Right? What about portal? Well, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do that. What about portal? Okay, I would overwrite my portal settings, which would turn on and off different pages. Affiliate program can allow you to create the affiliate. We're going to have a sample affiliate program that's going to go out to you guys. Billing setup, same thing. Do you want to overwrite the billing status, or do you want to add them? Do you want to overwrite products, or do you want to add the products? Do you want to overwrite the commission program, or do you want to add the commission program? Right? How about campaign? Well, scripts, sequences, forms, tags, triggers, milestones, and notes. We're going to have some, it'll include sample data, but it's going to be just that, just data, right? It's not going to be a true built-out campaign because it doesn't fit your business.
Yeah.
So again, overwrite is going to completely overwrite the stuff that you have and only enter the things that we have. Add will add whatever we have to what you've already created. On things like, we're going to go back to the system and stuff, but on things like account types, responsibility, status, collection status, public record types, public record status. In fact, you know what I recommend? Do this right here. Pause the video, screenshot this section right here. Pause my video, screenshot this section, and load this stuff in. What this is going to do is automatically, when you're entering items, the account types will be there. The account responsibility is going to be there. The status will be there. The collection status will be there. The public record types are going to be there. The public record statuses are going to be there. The report source will be there. And then you can add to those if you so choose. But guys, there's really no need. So that is how you load sample data. Now, if you do that, when you go back to clients, and let's say that I am looking at Bart Simpson here, and I go to add an item, well, I'm going to add a original creditor. Okay, so which bureaus? Well, it's on Equifax, it's on Experian, and it's on TransUnion. You have to understand that it defaults to negative. If you want it positive, you can mark it as positive also, right? Item name, you give it a name, test item. Come down here, you add a furnisher. We did have a little issue with the furnisher box not working as fast as we would like it to. It is much, much faster, as you can see right like that. Let's say you click that as the furnisher. Type. Well, look at these. All those items types are already there.
That's what you guys just loaded from your sample data.
This is
right there ready for you.
Exactly. This is what we just loaded with the sample data. So let's say that this is a secured credit card. Click. Account number. Now you'll notice that some of these on the side are green. I don't know if you guys have noticed this just yet, but some of the stuff on the side is green. The reason is occasionally you will see items that are, the account number might be different on Equifax than it is on Experian, or different on TransUnion than it is on Equifax, or whatever. If the item is the same across all three bureaus, then you just put it in once. If any of the data is different, you can click account number and then enter different information. So let's say it looks like that, and then it looks like that, and then it looks like that on that bureau. So what this is going to do is when it saves this item, it'll save test item as the name on all three bureaus. It'll save the furniture on all three bureaus. It'll save the same type on all three bureaus. But then on Equifax, it'll save this number. On Experian, it'll save that number. And on TransUnion, it'll save that number. This saves from having to put the item in and then click, copy to bureau or make, it's the same on this bureau and that bureau, whatever. You're only having to do the secondary entry on the information that's different.
That's a great feature.
Great feature. Item description. This is basically a series of drop-downs that we built out a lot of this stuff for you. So let's say you go public record, judgment, it's paid, and it's 2 to 5 years old. You click that. It will fill this box with a paragraph of what that account is. Now, guys, we are every day putting in new account statuses and creating the basically creating the paragraphs. As we go, these will be continually updated. Until then, if you want, you're always able to edit this to tell your customer a little about that item. So now that would save that as the audit description. Do you want to include it in the utilization ratio? Yes or no? Well, it was a secured credit card. It's let's say it's open, so yes. Instructions. Now, you'll notice that we are entering a original creditor item, right? So if I click the instructions, you notice only one instruction opens?
Yes.
Right? We're going to go back to the system real quick, and I'll show you why that does that.
We've had a lot of questions on that, Eric, and I'd like to cover that section. Fill them in on kind of why they're not seeing instructions there.
You got it.
That's the number one question.
To show you the rest of it, remember those statuses? There they all are. Remember this? It's all there because the items are, you entered the sample data. So you don't have to worry about all of that. It's all in there for you. As long as you load that sample data, it's already in there for you. But I'm going to let Corey, I'm going to jump out of here real quick, cancel this, and I'm going to let Corey show you in admin system item drop-downs instructions. I'm going to show you why that is.
Yeah, so guys, on your instructions, you notice that here on the screen that Eric's pulled up, you've got original, on the very top line item, you've got original creditors, collections, public records, and inquiries, check mark in bold and green. The items that gray, of course, are not checked. So those items are not going to show up on that instruction list. So say you've got the 2 records. The first line is going to show up on the 4, original creditors, collections, public records. The second line is only going to show public records and inquiries. So when you pull that up, those 2 records will pull up if you just pull up public records. Or if you click inquiries, those 2 will pull up. But if you click original creditors, only that first line is going to pull up. If you click collections, only the first line is going to pull up. And then if you go down to the third line, you'll notice incorrect SSN in the green check mark. Only that line is going to pull up. And that's default 3, default 2, default instruction for 1 and 2. So when you name your instructions and you want to be able to set those up, you want to be able to check mark each place that you want them to show up.
Let's do a great demonstration here really quick, and we'll show you why. If my instruction was, this is not my date of birth, remove it immediately. Now, do I want that to show up every time on every item?
Yeah, no, of course not.
Where would I would only want it to show up if I'm putting in an incorrect date of birth, right? So if I click save, now I just added an instruction. This is not my date of birth, remove it immediately, and it's only going to show up on incorrect date of birth. So if I go back to clients, and let's say that I want to load up a new, I'm back with Bart Simpson, and we're going to load him up an item.
Bart's a really difficult customer to deal with, just so you know.
We're going to load up he is. If I go to, incorrect date of birth and I click instructions, well, the only instruction that's showing up is this is not my date of birth, remove it immediately. Guys, you don't want to clutter your screen with stuff that you don't need to be seeing. If I'm putting in an original creditor item, why would I need to have this is not my date of birth as one of the options for instructions? It only loads the instructions that you would most likely use. So there you go. Yep. Guys, that's one of the biggest things that we need you guys to understand with DisCo is you have to have the data in there. It's a blank slate for you. And And a lot of you guys say, hey, Eric, I'm new. We don't really know what to put in there. Load the sample data. But it allows you guys that are, some of the more advanced companies especially, it allows you to run your business the way that you want it ran instead of having to run it the way that I want it ran.
Right. It gives you unlimited flexibility.
Yep.
You've got DisCo here. It's an unbelievable tool that I know Eric. So I've known Eric for several years. He's put several years into this. It's an amazing platform for everybody. I know that's why you guys are so excited about it. Just don't let it overwhelm you. It's pretty straightforward. You just got to remember you've got to set up you got to spend a little time with it and set it up. It's not an out-of-the-box turnkey solution, but it is a perfect solution, and it's going to streamline every process of your business, but you do have to set it up.
Yep, just set it up first. So if anything's ever missing, it's almost certainly because you haven't set it up yet.
Correct.
Yep. Guys, this is DisCo, the only free, full-featured credit repair software on the market.
Did you say free?
I did say free.
That's fantastic.
It's as in nothing.
Zero?
Well, it costs zero.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's free.
Free. Zero is free.
It really doesn't cost anything, guys. It's forever free. It's not free for a little bit, and then we're going to start charging you down the road. It's free forever. So we hope that you love it, and I hope that it helps make this a more compliant and more viable industry for a lot of you guys. And if there's any way that we can help, I'm Eric, and this is Corey.
I'm Corey.
We are Credit Nerds.
Call anytime you need me. Email me, Facebook me, whatever you need.
The Facebook group is Credit Nerds ! I'm going to put it up here in the search box, but it looks like this. It's Credit Nerds ! And the icon for the group is a pair of glasses, so it'll help you find that. If you're a user, get on that group because there's always access to Corey and I through that especially. Yeah. All right, guys, we appreciate you, and if there's anything that we can do to further help you succeed, we're here for you.
Thanks, guys. Have a good night.